under the harsh supermarket lights. Nobody saw her at first. Eleanor Vance stood there, clutching a battered wallet. A single mom at 27, doing her best to keep it together for the tiny daughter who meant everything. She'd counted out every dollar, every last coin, praying it would be enough this time. Daisy needed that special formula doctor's orders, but the price tag was more than Eleanor could swing. When the cashier announced the total, her stomach dropped. "I'm sorry. I'll have to put this one back," she whispered, sliding the can across the counter, feeling that old, burning shame she'd come to know so well. Behind her, people sighed, shifting impatiently, barely seeing her. But there was someone watching, a stranger whose next move would change Eleanor's life in ways she couldn't imagine. All it took was a can of formula. The line between hope and defeat. The world kept spinning around her. Fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. But Eleanor felt like she was sinking. Daisy was her world, her light. Her reason for every sacrifice. Every skipped meal. Every night on her feet. And here she was, forced to choose between groceries and her baby's health. The cashier, Kevin, scanned each item, his eyes flat with boredom. Eleanor's hands shook as she clung to her grandfather's old wallet. Her life savings reduced to wrinkled bills and spare change. She had hoped for a sale, a miracle. Instead, she got pitying glances and cold indifference. Her cheeks burned. She mumbled an apology, pushed the formula back, and kept her head down. If only she could melt right through the floor. Meanwhile, across the store, James Caldwell, tech industry titan and reluctant billionaire, was there for a simple reason: his 5-year-old daughter Sophia wanted her favorite apple juice. They could have had it delivered by the case, but Sophia wanted to go herself. James saw Eleanor's struggle from the juice aisle. He'd given millions to fight poverty, but had never seen it this close. Never felt it claw at his own heart. Sophia tugged his sleeve. "Why does that lady look so sad?" "Daddy?" He could only answer, "She's just having a hard day." "Honey." As Eleanor trudged out into the chilly night, James made a choice. He scooped up the can of formula and some extra food, paid in cash, and hurried out. He found her at the bus stop, small and hunched on the metal bench. "Excuse me," he said gently, offering her the bag. "I think you forgot this." She shook her head. She hadn't forgotten. She just couldn't afford it. "That's why I got it for you," James replied. Eleanor's pride kicked in. But James was sincere. "Please." From one parent to another. Tears stung her eyes as she took the bag. Overwhelmed, he offered her a ride home. At first she resisted, but something about his quiet kindness, his genuine concern made her accept. The car ride was quiet but warm. Sophia shyly introducing herself, and Eleanor feeling the divide between their worlds. When James carried Eleanor's groceries to her shabby apartment, he didn't see poverty. He saw lovey, a mother's fierce determination. Daisy's happy babble broke the tension, reminding everyone what mattered most. In those cramped quarters, something shifted in James. He handed over the bags and said goodbye. But as he left, both he and Eleanor knew that night would leave a mark. For Eleanor, hope flickered for the first time in ages. Inspired, she dusted off her old skills, applied for a job at a community center supporting veterans, and miracle of miracles was called in for an interview. She didn't get the job, but instead was offered something entirely new: the Vance Legacy Grant, a scholarship and stipend created in honor of her great-grandfather, Sergeant Michael Vance, a local war hero. The grant, established by an anonymous benefactor, promised to lift her and Daisy out of survival mode and into a life where dreams were possible. What Eleanor didn't know was that James was the man behind the grant. He'd learned about Eleanor's family connection. Her great-grandfather had saved James's own grandfather in combat decades before and saw a chance to honor an old debt. To him, this was about legacy, not charity. The new grant changed everything. Eleanor moved to a better neighborhood, enrolled in business classes, and found new purpose. Daisy thrived, and so did Eleanor, finally seeing a future instead of just the next paycheck. She wrote a thank you letter to her mystery benefactor, never guessing it was the kind stranger from the Megamart. Months later, at the grant's official launch event, Eleanor was asked to speak. There, she finally recognized James and learned the truth how their family's fates had been intertwined by acts of courage generations before. The connection wasn't just about money. It was about honor, about carrying forward something bigger than themselves. But new beginnings come with new battles. Penelope Covington, a powerful board member with her own agenda, tried to sabotage the grant by sowing rumors and questioning Eleanor's worthiness. When a review was called, Eleanor stood tall, defending not just herself, but every family the grant could help. James backed her up, bringing out wartime letters and photos, reminding everyone of the debt owed to heroes like Michael Vance. In the end, truth won out. The grant expanded, helping dozens more. Eleanor earned her degree, took a job at James's foundation, and helped families like hers find hope. She and James became partners in every sense, raising Daisy and Sophia side by side, building not just new lives, but a new legacy, one grounded in compassion and honor. And every once in a while, Eleanor would remember that scared woman in the grocery store and realize how far she'd come. All because of one quiet act of kindness, a debt of honor paid forward, and the belief that even the smallest moment can echo through generations. If you found something in this story that made you stop and think, let me know where you're listening from or what you were doing while you listened. It means the world to me. If you want to hear more, hit like and subscribe, because you never know how one story, one act, or one comment might change someone's world.